Hello everyone. We have a game with the black pieces against Rom 15 stir rated provisionally 842. He opens up with d4 and e3 playing very passively. So we bring our knight out towards the center and we play e6, just developing a bishop. He brings the knight out towards the center. We go b6 and we're going to bring our other bishop out on a beautiful diagonal. He hops his knight into the center. This doesn't threaten anything, and it's very close to our position. I have no qualms about playing d6 for free, so I'm going to do it. Yes, I didn't develop my bishop, but I can always play d5 afterwards. And for the time being, he has to move his knight. So he moves it here, which is an awkward location, walking into things like d5 in the future. But I just want to develop my bishop, leave the diagonal open. He's moving the same piece 3 times, 4 times. We'll leave it there. Oh man, and he just hangs a queen. My opponent left the game. He doesn't even resign. He just leaves. Well, we'll claim victory. And we'll play another one. We now have the black pieces against Cherry Tanvi, rated 652. We might get into a caro-kann, and we do. Another exchange variation. Everyone is afraid to do anything else. And they always do the same thing. They bring out their knights. We bring out our knights towards the center. They pin our knight, usually, but sometimes they don't. They might go the other way. Sometimes they may even go here, but usually they pin the knight, yeah. And then we counterpin. And then sometimes they castle. Sometimes they bring out the other bishop. And we just go. Okay, so he decides to bring out the other bishop. This hits the knight, but it doesn't pin the knight. But I don't want to do anything fancy. Let's just go e6. We're protecting the center, opening up a diagonal. There are moves like knight e4 last turn, but... So he castles. Logical development. I want to develop my dark squared bishop. This looks very active, looking at the center, looking at his king. I'm ready to castle. He puts a rook on the open file, aims at my king. Threatening knight takes pawn because it's pinned, and it's pinned. But once I castle, I almost mouse slipped. Once I castle, there's no pin on this pawn, there's no pin on this knight, and I'm actually threatening to maybe take the knight and this pawn. So he moves his queen up, which I don't think addresses my threat, because I still take the knight, followed by the pawn. And in this game, I'm forcing him to mess up his structure, so he has to take here. That's reasonable. Let's take there. He does take with the pawn. We can now go here, which is slightly annoying for him. What else do we have? We could put the question to this bishop, see what it wants. This. Okay, thought I was muted for a second. Yikes. Okay, so let's improve the knight for free. We're kicking the queen off of this diagonal. It can't stay here. And now when we kick the bishop, it won't be able to trade for the knight. So it might be awkward for the bishop. See where it goes. We'll also have pressure here, which he walks directly into. He's not threatening anything, and that gives me the green light to take here. You see how when you apply the pressure, you get in the free moves, they immediately collapse. And look at our structure. Perfect. Harmonious. Knight on its most natural square, bishop on its beautiful square. We take a rook. Free stuff. He takes back. We have more free moves if we want them. You don't have to play them, but... What? Okay, so he hangs more stuff for no reason. And now he's just moving his bishop around. And now the best move, you want to go knight h5. That protects the pawn. And also looks at this outpost. And prepares lots of kingside fun stuff. So he's going for his last ditch effort, right? Trying to go for this one checkmate. So we play g6 and say, what was that about? And now he's all out of ideas. He moves the rook to the center. But we just improve a piece for free. And maybe we need our queen to checkmate him, so... Okay, he moves his queen to this side of the board, which I don't care about. I mean, going here sets up other threats, so... It does do a 2-in-1 job of defend and attack, but I feel like... I'm just going to ignore this pawn and push. I want to get my queen into the king side. This pawn is in the way. So he can take it, and now my queen is in with mating patterns. So I gave up a pawn right here. I'm even giving up this pawn, but as you can see, it doesn't matter. Even if I didn't have his rook, even if I wasn't up a clean rook and it was back on a1, it still wouldn't matter. So he's trying to escape early, but there's nowhere to go because my knight covers it. So that's why I'm going to throw in this free check and force him back. That will allow me to take this pawn for free. And then if he goes here, that's mate. If he goes here, that's mate. And now you can see why I wanted to get my queen in. So if we pull up an analysis board, got a nice 98%er there. Okay, caro-kann, they don't know anything about it, the advance or some other line, so they always just take. We recapture, we bring our pieces towards the center. Normal development. He's fighting for the dark squares on his side. So we counterpin, developing, fighting for the dark squares. Development and center. Development and center. King safety and development. And this is just free stuff because he either loses the pawn or he loses his position. So he chooses to lose the position by giving me this advantage. And then I get in free stuff. Of course, he has to defend the pawn, and we just continue with developing and whatnot. But he immediately blunders, so we take free stuff, more free stuff. And then we have free moves. You could do whatever you want. You could develop your rook. You could attack his bishops for free. I attack his bishop, he hangs more stuff, so free stuff. And then we just free improving moves. I mean, you shouldn't be doing stuff like rook c8 here. Yeah, it's developing and good, but just go for the king. It's open, you have lines. So I move the knight. He gives my queen access. He creates the mate in 1. Just stop it easy. We put our knight here. You also could have just maybe brought the queen in. You could maybe do it this way. There's a lot of different ways. But I choose to go here. It's for free. And then I sack the pawn because it looks kind of forcing. Even if he doesn't take this pawn, he can't stop me from coming in. So this was 2 games in 1. A nice, clear, logical sequence. You can see my train of thought the whole way through. In this caro-kann exchange variation. Hopefully it helps you play the caro-kann exchange. Good luck in your chess, and goodbye.